It is Friday, my dudes. Hello. We're live again. It's been about a month, I think, since we did our last stream. I looked the other day, it's been 4 weeks. It's pretty cool.
Is it really that time again?
It is that time again. Time for another stream. Time for some good shit. So we got... It's been so long since I've done this. First off, who's with us tonight? We got 1UpD, we got Blixspawn, who's silent, but he's here. And we got Trivia. I don't know if you guys just want to say hello.
Hi.
Yes, hello.
I probably won't be speaking as much tonight because I'm fighting a bad sore throat. Normally I'd be working right now, but I took some hours off to try to rest up. So hopefully this will help me keep my mind off of it.
Good plan.
He's got the sea flu.
Yes, he does.
He spent too much time in City 10 working on that patch for Entropy 01 and he picked up fucking sea flu.
That makes so much sense.
It does, doesn't it? So
That was when I was testing out the vaccination points. That definitely did it.
Oh man. Man, we've done so much work on that patch. I mean, especially you, 1UP. You've done a load of work on that patch.
Yeah, thanks. It's been quite a process. I'm really looking forward to seeing what the results will be. You know, what people think of it when it's out on.
I think we're really close now as well to releasing it.
Just needs more testing, doesn't it? So you need to push the last doodads out onto it, and then we can test it.
Yeah, there's literally there's a couple of models that need retexturing. I was thinking about doing that tomorrow. It's a bit of a pain in the ass because, so for example, there's a map where we've got a tower that's set in City 17 and the same tower is used in City 10. So I have to double skin the model and then change the skin in the maps and then recompile one of the maps.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That takes time. That's a couple of hours work.
Really, shouldn't you double skin all of them? Since, you know, like if you load up a Half-Life 2 map in Entropy 0, or if you're making a custom map, you might want it to say City 17. It does sound like a lot of work.
It's a heck of a lot of work. I mean, I think that was the reason why I didn't do it initially. I only did the sort of main bits and pieces you were looking at, barring that tower, which I completely missed. But it's a tremendous job. I'll see if I can get through it. See if I can get some time to do it tomorrow. I think the other things we needed to do... You know, you said about hiding the flashlight indicator. Did I?
Yeah.
Is that in vanilla Entropy 0? Because if it is, I can't even remember that I did that.
I seem to remember it being in one version, but that's... I don't know if my memory is reliable on that, so I couldn't say to be honest.
I'll have to have a look at moving, because am I right in thinking it's going to be infinite now in patch 3?
Yep.
Yeah, so there's no point in having that on the screen.
Yeah, I think the NVG itself is enough of an indicator of whether or not it's on. You know.
Yes, absolutely. Just looking at what else we've got to do. Map graphs. I'm going to finally try and fix them. There's this really irritating problem with Steam. When you're pushing new updates, if it detects that a file has changed, it will remove it. And it will replace it with the changed file. So what usually happens is I've got a new map, I put it in the repo and I upload it to Steam. It will see that the date modified entry has changed on that, and then it will obviously update it on everyone else's computers. The massive problem with map graphs is that they're generated usually by the PCs of other people, so they all have different date modifieds on them. They belong to the clients. It's kind of client-side thing. So even if I push new map graphs, it might not even work. But I'm going to try it. I did some reading the other day about it. It's a bit of an issue point with just the way Source works and the way Valve's Steam thingy pulls changes. But I'd love to fix it because nobody likes to see that no graph out of date message.
Yeah. would the way to do it be to like delete all the graphs and then load every map sequentially, just to generate them all at once with one timestamp?
Yeah, so
Sounds
that's
like a pain.
it is a pain, but that's what we'd have to do, and then we'd have to take those graphs and put them in the repo. And essentially, what will happen is people who don't have those graphs, they won't get the node graph out of date message. So if you're installing Entropy Zero fresh, it won't happen. But if you've been playing it on and off, there's a chance that you'll still get it when you hit a map that we've modified, because it just won't overwrite their copy of the node graph.
Oh, that's frustrating.
It's really frustrating, and I've read a little bit about this on the Steamworks stuff, but there's really not that much out there about it. Like I said, I've read a little bit, and the only real way to do it is to make sure that the user's graphs folder is cleared. What we could potentially do is I could push a repo build without the graphs folder to public, and then wait a day, and then push the new graphs folder. And then as long as people don't play it within that day, they'll get the new graphs and they won't get the error. Well, it's not an error, it's a, you know what I mean. They won't get the message.
What about like sound.cache? Because that file needs to be deleted when updates are pushed. Is there a way you can tell the repo to like delete that file?
See, sound.cache is different because it fixes it. It does work. If I delete sound.repo, I checked this the other day on my machine, it got rid of my sound.cache, I say, repo. I'm half asleep, sorry. I deleted the sound cache on my machine the other day, and I checked it in the build, and it removed it, and then it regenerated it when I started Entropy Zero. So that's kind of irritating, because I don't know why the same principle doesn't apply to the node graphs. Because you could literally just rip out all the node graphs and push a blank, and then you could push another one after that with the new graphs in it. It's just something I've got to think about, and it's something we'll have to think about as well for Entropy Zero 2. The other massive problem, which is it's a source engine problem, is if you're playing through Entropy Zero pre-patch and you load a save after the patch, it will just completely break the game. You'll have to start the chapter new because of the map changes. There's no way around that, as far as I'm aware.
Oh yeah, people just put disclaimers in their patch notes saying all saves will be corrupted.
Yeah. There's one way of doing it is to use something called Entspy, which allows you to modify BSPs without changing their... there's kind of like an array structure within a BSP, and if you... obviously it expects a certain amount of entities, etc. So as long as you're not adding entities through Entspy, you can, or removing them, you can just change sort of properties without it corrupting. But apart from that, you pretty much have to just start the chapter again. So we'll have to disclaim that when we push that out. Aside from that, the only other thing we need to do really is put together the VMFs for the SDK so that everyone's got the updated stuff.
Oh, you want me to make a little trailer as well at some point, don't you?
Yeah, that would be really good.
Once you give me like should I wait until like the final version of 3.0 is like submit for testing and then make a trailer from that?
Yeah, you could do that. Just because there's a few reasons for that. The first reason is obviously we want to try and generate some excitement again for Entropy Zero. To sort of, in a way, promote Entropy Zero 2 by doing that. And the other reason is the trailer on Steam is like so old. That was like the actual trailer that's on there at the minute. That was made before Entropy Zero was released, and it's like you can see it's got all of the old muzzle flashes and everything.
Yeah.
It's really old.
Yeah, just if you have any like direction as to what you want the trailer to be like, any sort of music you definitely want in there and stuff, let me know. Otherwise, I'll just, I don't know, wing it.
I'm just gonna give you full creative freedom, man. Just wing it.
Ooh.
Because that's the best way to work, I think. So, yeah, I think you do a good job of it. So that's pretty much it. That's all we really need to do. We do need to test it a bit more. One Up, you ran through it, didn't you? And you got the achievements, didn't you?
I did.
Awesome. So we know they work. which is
It
great.
would be good to test that. Now I've tested this in like test maps, but I haven't tested it in the full build. That if you start chapter 4 and beat chapter 4, that it does not unlock the difficulty achievements,
Right.
and also that if you change your difficulty at any time outside of the game, in the game, whatever, you know, it will appropriately detect that and only give you the normal difficulty achievement if you're not on hard mode.
Right, so we need to
I
test
haven't
that.
I've tested a lot on like a developer map with a debug tool, but I haven't like done a lot of like actual in-game stress testing of all those different cases.
Right, so it'd be worth doing it. I started playing it the other day, but then we've sort of made some changes. I can't remember what I was fixing now. I can't remember what we did. I think it might have been binaries or something like that. So it's probably worth me starting it again. But I do need to just sit down and blast through it again. It doesn't take that long, actually. If you're just sitting there doing it.
Yeah. I was surprised by how it took me like 2 settings actually, but it was, not super long once I knew kind of the layout of everything.
Yeah, yeah.
My first playthrough took a lot longer than that.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Unfortunately, I'll never have that sort of first-time Entropy Zero experience. I just run through the maps. I know exactly where I'm going, what I'm doing. We'll have to test it though. I think CW said he's done a lot of play testing for us. So I don't know if he's finished it and gotten achievements or not yet. I don't know. Just turn this music down. It's a bit loud. What else was there? That's the other thing. So the artifacting for the blood, that was fixed, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was yeah, that issue is fixed. There's still a bad looking material on the particle in the steam in the vaccination
Oh
point for
yes,
sea
yeah.
flu.
Now I wonder
I'm
why
not sure.
that's. I don't know why that's doing
So
that.
you changed a material for a particle for impact effects, right?
I must have
I
done.
wonder.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if ENV's steam uses the same material for its particles as the impact
Ah,
effects. So maybe it looks fine for impacts, but it looks wrong on the other particle.
because the dimensions of the
Right, just like how when you change the sparks, that also changes gun bullet
I
tracers
noticed that.
and the star field at the end of the game. So you ended up having to roll that back. I think this is something similar, although it would be nice to keep the new impact effects in because I think they look pretty good.
They look nice. I agree. Maybe it's just a case of changing the material that steam's using, because I think it's just using
Perhaps.
defaults. It's just the default env steam, so we could probably change it.
Mhm.
I could probably look at doing that. Not I don't think it's a big deal.
How about the training map?
Yeah, I need to actually finish that. I think the problem is at the minute I'm just doing so much work with Entropy Zero 2.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a version 4 thing when we relight the mod as well. That could be a V4 thing. Because you wanted to look at the maps, didn't you, when we're done? That was
Yeah,
something else you wanted
when
to do.
3.0 is pushed out, yeah, I want to grab all the VMFs and just like casually on my own time go about relighting them all because they're all way too dark, as we've had the discussion about.
Yeah, yeah. See, we sort of tried, just for folks listening, we tried to relight Entropy Zero, especially some of the really dark areas, with patch 3, and it was just taking us way too long to.
Too big a job.
It's a massive job. I didn't even realize how big of a job it is. Like the first map, I spent about 2 or 3 days trying to get it right, and then I just, we want to get this patch out now so we can focus on Entropy Zero 2. So,
Yeah.
but Trivia can have a look at that. You can have a look at that.
Yeah. I'll probably, obviously, once you hand Chapter 3 over to me, I'll do that first, and then once I've done that, I'll look over Entry 01.
Yeah, that's fine. So Chapter 3, we've obviously got some huge changes coming for that, thanks to Blixspawn's awesome work. So we have a Willy NPC now, and there's all sorts of stuff going on with that. Some things that we can't talk about, but yeah. what we need to do, or what I need to do, is I need to get all these assets off of Blix. I need to figure out what I need to do to finalize Chapter 3. I think, in my head, I think I know, but it's probably just best at some point to have a conversation with Blix about that, so I know exactly what we need to do. Because as soon as we can sign it off, I'll just hand it over to you, Trivy.
Yeah.
There is something that we want to do. There's a chamber where you, sort of the first chamber that you take Willy through, just before you get to the secret that we're not going to talk about section. We want to put another corridor, and I've got an idea of how we can do it. We want to put a corridor
make
in
a bit more exploration and stuff.
Yeah, because the conversation that takes place is a bit long, and you end up getting to the other door before it's finished.
Yeah.
So I've got an idea for that. I mean, I don't mind building that in. It won't take me too long, I don't think. It's just going to be some extra little corridors and stuff. So, yeah. But
Cool.
once all that is done, then we can finally say Chapter 3 is, like, yeah, cooked for now. You can have it. And away we go. Sorry, there's lots of pots and pans behind me. It's just me wife. She's cleaning up. What else we got on this meeting thing then? VCD overhaul, so we switched to VCDs now. That's actually really cool.
Oh yeah.
Like, so I did the advisor sequence last weekend, and it literally took me 5 minutes.
Yeah, are you glad I nagged the shit out of you?
I am really glad. Holy crap, man. Even when so we got the new advisor sounds now. So I literally...
Oh, that's going to be a nice reveal.
Oh, yeah.
Which is why I want to wait until the teaser to, like, reveal it, because it's going to be the first time they hear it and want it to be really cool.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I like it. It's really interesting. It puts a... So like, Chapter 3 is quite... Playing through it the other day, Chapter 3 is quite... It's not... I wouldn't say light-hearted isn't the right word, but there's a lot of humour and just, like, one-liners in there. And then you sort of get out and you have this advisor thing, and it's... Suddenly it kind of changes the mood a little bit.
Oh, shit.
It's like, okay... Oh yeah, we're here to, like, kill rebels, so it gets a bit...
It's like being caught, like, having a major fuck-up at work.
Yeah, exactly that, yeah. So... I've got some plans for that sequence. It's not finished yet. The lines and all that are finished, whatever, that's fine. But the actual visuals that are gonna... I've got some plans for that. But you'll get to see it tonight.
Yeah.
So we got that. So but what the great thing about using VCDs is I got these new lines, and I plopped them in. And all I had to do was open up the scene in Phase Poser, and basically just take one or two of the lines and just move them along.
Yep.
And then it was done, and it works in game. Oh my god, it's amazing. And also you can fire outputs when the VCDs are finished. Holy shit.
Oh yeah.
Oh, blows my mind.
The only pain in the arse with Phase Poser is one, you have to put everything in scenes.image every fucking time.
Yeah.
And you need all the vanilla Half-Life 2 scenes in that folder when you do it.
Now,
and what else is there? Oh yes, and every sound needs to have a sound script, otherwise you have to manually stick it in.
do it. Yeah. That's a bit of a nightmare, but I mean, the sound script workflow that's what I'm doing now anyway for Entropy Zero. So, to be honest, that takes more time now than it does to actually choreograph the scenes in the game. It's like sitting there for like 3 hours typing in stuff in your sound scripts and then in your caption file and then linking them. Yeah, oh my god, that takes fucking ages. But it's well worth it because it's so awesome when you get to the game.
Yep.
So VCDs are amazing. We're using them as much as possible. From now on, I'm just going to use VCDs.
Don't be like old Red. Use VCDs.
Blix is going to VCD up Chapter 3, I think.
Nice.
Yeah. So, the roadmap. I should probably look at the roadmap. Should we share the roadmap? I could probably dump it into the YouTube chat so people know what we're talking about. Let me just find it. Hang on. Where the hell is it?
Wait, hang on. Does that roadmap, if you give them the link to that roadmap, will that mean that they can go back into the EC2 Dev Depot?
I don't know, but I shall make sure they can't.
Check all that shit before you hand it over, otherwise everybody's
Absolutely.
gonna have the keys to the kingdom.
Wow, man. I gotta update this roadmap. Because half of this is done.
Oh no, right, that release date's completely wrong. It's supposed to be 2022.
I know, right? Because we remember that was because we were going to add the fucking, what you call it, fucking card game.
Oh yeah, the card game. So yeah, sorry guys, release date is pushed to 2022.
Let's have a look. Where are we at the minute? We are... We're a little bit behind according to the roadmap.
Oh.
Well, I'm a little bit behind.
That's because of patch. That's because of 3.0.
That's because of 3.0. I was supposed to have map 4, chapter 4, map 1 alpha by the 27th of May. That's fucking dirty, that is.
Oh, that's like a fucking month ago.
That's a whole month. Holy crap. We've been busy on this patch. There's me going, we'll just do a little patch for Entropy 0. It'll take, what?
A week.
A week? It's gonna take a week, guys. No. Okay, so I won't share the roadmap because I need to check security stuff. But what I will do is I could probably share the window, or I could probably share it on OBS, so we can actually show the guys where we are. Come on now. There we go. Oh great! Look at that. Doesn't even fit.
Oh, you're showing it on the stream.
We do it like on the fucking fly. Right, I'll just zoom in a little bit as well so we can all see what we're looking at.
Looks fine to me so far. There we go.
There we go. Okay, so this is our sort of development roadmap, and it's not like set in stone because we don't do anything set in stone really. We're quite casual about what we're doing, but it gives us a good idea as to sort of where we are and what we're at. So right now we're sort of down to here. This is kind of where I am at the minute. Chapter 4.1 alpha, which you'll be seeing in a little while. That's a good point. OneUp is working on... I don't know if I mentioned this. Did we mention that OneUp is working on Chapter 2, Map 3? That's it.
I think so at some point.
I'm sure we did.
It was a while ago that he started, so...
Yeah, it's something where, just like with Chapter 4 Map 1, the patch has kind of completely taken it over.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been doing so much with the patch, so it's kind of on hold. I do have the first little bit of it kind of sketched out, but you know, it's kind of it's going to continue to be on the back burner, kind of going in tandem with everything else.
Yeah, there's no rush for that. I mean,
right.
What have we got in that? We've got that scene, which you can't talk about at the end of it, which we still have to choreograph and everything, so there's no rush. I'm just really excited to play.
The choreography for that scene is completely done. I did it.
Is it done? What?
Yeah, I did it ages ago. It just needs to be put in.
Holy shit. Well, I gotta check that out sometime.
It probably needs to be... I need to make sure it works with the new model that Crowley's made.
Oh, yeah.
It's fully animated. Yeah, it's done.
Yeah.
I did it ages ago.
I wish we could talk about all that, but it would spoil so much if we did. It would blow like half of the story, so we can't talk about that.
Blow this thing wide open.
It does, it really would. It really would. Yeah, so we're sort of like here right now. This is like where we are. And you're going to be seeing Chapter 4 gameplay like in a minute, because I'll show that. So stick around. Yeah, look at this here. Chapter 4 Infancy Show Off. I'm kind of already doing that a little bit. I've had a lot of questions recently about release. I'm gonna estimate release on stream, and you guys can estimate too. I reckon we're looking at Q1 2020.
Oh, at the very earliest, I think Q1 2020. Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon Q1 2020.
If not that, then Q2.
I think it'll linger into Q2.
You reckon Q2?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the great thing about working on... I tell you what, I could actually show off this fucking map in Hammer because I've got the screen. I shall just fly around the map quickly. The great thing about Chapter 4...
Did you just load up HL2 App 2 Hammer?
Yep. Yeah, it's just because I'm lazy and I don't rename it.
Oh.
I've got an Entropy 0 variant. So basically, one thing that I found about making these displacement maps, which I've like hardly ever done, is that the displacements took me a day for the entire map, and they may look crap and they may be placeholder, but the fact is I managed to get like the majority of geometry down for this map in a day, so that saved what 2 weeks of basically faffing around with corridors and stuff. I thought I'd just show off the hammer thing, may as well, whilst we're here. So we'll start. I don't know why I'm flying through it. Let's just start where we start. So we actually streamed this bit the other day, 4 weeks ago, when we were sort of starting.
The other day, 4 weeks ago, a month ago, the other day.
This is where we were when we were streaming on the tubes the other day.
I remember this with the ASMR.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we did the ASMR, didn't we? ASMR. Trivia did his ASMR, but that was great.
That was fucking funny. That was. I love that stream.
We went all Bob Ross on our brushwork. That was cool. So yeah, it's kind of expanded a lot now. We sort of come down this corridor here, into the rest room, and you've got, this is where the advisor sequence happens right here, which is cool. And then you come through this corridor here. You're going to see this in game in a minute. So I'm definitely going to show it off. And then you come out into this really lovely outdoor sort of area. Check this shit. This is placeholder, so just bear in mind this is placeholder. But I had this idea
Pre-alpha
that we could drop suit chargers in using these random like combine drop pods that would like fall out of the sky. I don't know how we do it.
I love it.
But it's got a suit charger.
Oh, dude, we could get a custom like proper model for that.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I'm sure Kralik could hook us up. Or Brandy, whoever, I don't know, man. But yeah, it's got a suit charger in it. Doesn't drop out of the sky yet, but that's the whole plan. It's like a headcrab canister, but it's got a suit charger in it, which is pretty cool because you're going to need it because the rebels kick my ass, like seriously. So we've got the Hunter. Hunter doesn't follow me yet. I've got to sort that out. He doesn't. I've asked him to very nicely, but he just doesn't. We'll get to that. The APC drives, but it doesn't shoot yet. I think you guys know about that. I'm just sort of stating this for the record before we jump in. The APC doesn't shoot yet. But yeah, I mean all of this like mountain sort of hills and all this kind of stuff really didn't take me that long, which is sort of considerably shortened the time it's taken me to put the map together. So I've been really focusing on like detail and stuff. Detailing all of these canyons and all that crap. The one thing that I haven't done yet is I haven't detailed the insides of this building here, although I did make these little gas heaters, which are kind of cute. They explode. It's kind of cool. Yeah, I think I detailed this today. Yeah, it's cool.
Looks nice.
It's coming on really well. It's coming on really fucking well. We can jump in game if you like, and we can actually see it.
Yeah, boy.
You want to see it? Okay, let's do it. Let's load up hl2.exe. Better change OBS round. Let's get this going. Come on, you bastard. Okay. Are you ready?
Ready or not, here I come.
Fuck. Okay, we'll skip like the actual advisor conversation as we said, and I can just load into a save to get to that. But I will show off the start of the map because that was what was on stream the other week, and I'm sure folks want to see how it's gone. Here we go.
Yeah, don't worry if you guys want to like really like see that advisor sequence. There's going to be parts of it in the teaser that I'm going to do for chapter 4, like I did with chapter 3, just like a short little thing that's going to be like chapter 4, and yeah, you'll get to hear the advisor in that.
It's going to be cool. I can't wait to see the teaser.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going in. I'm just going to shut up and play.
Speaking of the teaser, if it's possible for you to give me a version of the map with all the lights removed except the skybox, that would be nice. But if it's too much effort, don't worry.
Yeah, we can do that, because you want to SFM it, do you?
Yeah. Because
Okay.
in-map lights don't cast shadows on objects put into Source Filmmaker.
That's fine. We can do that. No probs. Right, now I just gotta hope these rebels don't kick my ass, because sometimes they...
Yeah, I do have a tool that like strips lighting from maps, but yeah, if you could do it yourself, that's like way easier.
That's alright, we can do it. Man, they were a pushover today. These guys usually kick my ass. I'm just too good.
You're finally getting good at video games.
I'm finally picking up the old first-person shootery thing. I did something cool with this today. You can actually use sparks from the gun to blow it up.
Ooh.
That was loud. Entropy 02 is not a headphone game. Right. Have we shown off the new sparks yet? I don't believe we have.
I don't know.
They're a bit dramatic, but they're a work in progress. But we've improved the sparks. So there you go.
Yep, the revolver is still work in progress. We have new animations for it, and it's going to have some new functionality into it as well. So for now, the revolver is just the base revolver.
Yeah, it's just base revolver. Now, if I continue here, it'll do the advisor sequence. We're not going to do that tonight, because we don't want to spoil anything. So I'm just going to load to just after the advisor sequence. And it crashed. That's not good.
Wow.
Okay.
Source Engine.
Why did that crash?
Could have been a fluke. Sometimes Source Engine just crashes randomly on loads.
I can't believe that. Oh, well, we can just load it up again and we can no-clip to where we need to go. That's really frustrating.
And Windows 10 is just like, why don't you turn on gaming mode? That'll surely fix everything.
Fucking Windows 10 and goddamn gaming suggestions. Bill Gates doesn't want to watch me play Entropy 02.
Maybe he does.
Right, I'll wait for this lift to stop and then we shall no-clip.
Or you could try the load again and cross your fingers.
I could cross my fingers, couldn't I? Should we try the load again?
Try the load again. It could be a fluke.
It could have been a fluke. It was a fluke. Oh no, it didn't, just crash. For God's
Oh,
sake.
fuck. Shit, okay. Gonna have to troubleshoot that, like, what the fuck.
Absolutely, so...
Well,
because,
yeah, when you give us the build, I'll test it.
So Entropy 02 is now a roguelike,
yeah.
Just
no
closes.
saving.
Yeah, if you die, it just closes. We'll have to check that out. I don't know why that would be crashing. That was just a quick save that I did. It's alright, we could just no-clip.
Yep.
That means we're gonna have to tidy up these rebels again.
Finally, the surface.
I'll kick my ass this time, I bet. Kiss my ass. I'm a terrible shot tonight. Did you see that? I had that happen the other day. It's really funny. This rebel, she runs into this corner, and then she sort of mounts these turrets, and then jumps down. It's hilarious. It's the new AI.
Oh, I didn't see that actually. No.
It's these little things that we're sort of finding with our new AI. It's quite funny.
Surprise! You do not want to go in there.
Apparently they do want to go in there.
Yeah, I noticed that you put the elite guy walking in. Oh yeah, you got his squad going in with him as well. They just walk around just to a space in that room and then stop.
Yeah, they just go and look around. Right, so we're going to skip the advisor sequence because it's obviously not working.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, you get the MP5K there, nice.
Okay. On my side. On my side.
You do get the MP5K here, although it's kind of inaccurate for the outside look.
Yeah. Aren't we thinking of adding that into Chapter 2 somewhere? Because that's like the perfect place for it.
Absolutely. Good for clearing corridors.
I think that's the intention.
Yep.
Maybe even at the beginning of Chapter 2, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, we could do that. We could do that real easily.
It could be in the room that you fucking spawn in.
Yeah, because that's like a storeroom, makes sense.
So there's no 3D skybox in this yet. I was having a discussion with CW the other day, so this will probably look a heck of a lot different when we actually go to release. But yeah, so this is my idea of like a little combine drop pod thing. It's obviously all brushwork at the minute. It even says placeholder, but we can change that. Let's go.
I like how people are still guessing the release date of Entropy 02 when we just said it's probably going to be Q1 2020 or Q2 2020. 2020.
I wish we could do December this year, but it's just I just don't think it's going to happen. So there's a few things. This hunter doesn't follow me yet, but he will do eventually.
So he follows you when you're outside the ABC, but not when you're in it.
Not when I'm in it. I don't know why that is. Probably just need him to tell him to follow the APC. That might be a better thing to do.
Yeah.
The other thing is the APC doesn't shoot yet. I'll just mention that again for anyone that's just joined us. The APC doesn't shoot yet because we haven't done the code for it yet. Let's go. It does drive though, and it's really fast actually.
I was going to say I don't think hunters have follow behavior, but actually they do follow striders.
They follow striders, don't they?
They should have.
Yeah, is there a way to swap between, so you can make it follow the APC, or you can make it follow the player? Is there a way to make a switch so that it like follows the APC when you're in it and follows you when you're out?
Man, look at that! I popped that though, didn't I?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a bug as well. That's a bug.
Oh, what, the yellow light flashing?
Yeah, the light flashing into the APC. See, the idea is, I guess you could siege them in the APC if you really wanted to. Oh shit. This is pretty deadly coming up here. I should mention that this house thing isn't furnished at all, isn't even lit. So I need to do that still. I can hear them opening doors upstairs, it's really scary. Oh shit! Oh.
Ah, is that one of the doors that Willie can open?
Yeah, did you see that? I'll go back to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is a secret door. If you have Wilson with you, he can open these for you, which is pretty cool. That'd be good. It's, we want to put secret doors in.
Nice.
To sort of give players a reward for carrying that turret all the way through the game. I saw it. Yeah, so let's just head back through here. It's coming on well. That's all of the combat that we've got for the chapter at the minute. Literally went in today, so it's pretty cool. Eventually what will happen is you'll come down here, you'll probably fight some more rebels, you'll hit this switch here, which doesn't work at the minute, and that door will open and then it will take us on. We can carry on with the chapter. I can't talk about it on the stream, but I nearly did. Oh my god, I nearly spoiled something massive then, so I'm glad I didn't. I'll just say it like this, we did have something planned for the start of this sequence, which isn't in here, which you may have noticed. That will be moved to the next map, just for convenience, because this map came together really well. So that will be moved. I'll tell you guys in a minute what that is. Oh, I just smashed up. Yeah, it's good fun. The APC is really fun to drive. I didn't realize how fast it is. What the hell? What the hell is he doing up there? I can't believe he can get up.
Maybe he did try to follow you or something. I don't know.
Maybe he did. Maybe I should... Ah, hang on. Maybe it's because I was at the APC.
Oh yeah, maybe he started to follow once he got out.
Come and get me. Come and get me. Do you want to see an experimental thing, which doesn't work properly yet, by the way?
Is it the fetch?
It is the fetch. Look. Get off the...
What? You want this? You want to play fetch?
Yeah.
Go get it, boy.
He doesn't actually go get it yet. He just looks at it.
So bad, I guess. Like a giant dog.
There's a lot of fun to be had with him, I think.
Oh, that's cute.
It is cute. We'll make him love him. Yeah, so that's kind of like chapter 4 in its infancy. A lot of work has gone into the advisor sequence. There's like so much going on with that. Is there anything else we can show off tonight? I'm trying to think. What? The manhack changes aren't in. Yeah, are they? The soldiers with manhacks, I don't think they're in this build. They're in the binaries, but they're not in the
Yeah.
map.
They're in the code, but they're not in any maps yet.
Not in the maps yet. Yeah, I don't think we can show anything else tonight. We can drive around in the APC again because that's something that a lot of people have wanted for ages. It's really fast.
There's not a lot of room to drive it around at the minute. Needs to shoot it. That'll be the big thing when you can shoot it.
Yeah, oh absolutely. That'll make a massive difference to this whole bit here because you can basically just blow them away in the APC.
But we also improved the internals of the APC a bit because obviously it was never meant to be seen from the inside, so it's kind of blank.
Yeah, so this is the I can actually fly into it. This is the human error model. So they've added some stuff. They've added like a chair and a steering wheel. So it's a bit nicer.
Oh yeah, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's coming along well. There's a lot of stuff to do still. Like the AI here doesn't have any fancy things going on apart from it's just running on code. There's no like battle lines or there's no rally points or anything like that. It's just AI, NPCs and nodes. Because I've still got to furnish this room here. Trying to think what else really. That's it, really.
At the beginning, I've got the audio muted basically on the video. At the beginning, where you see the subtitles pop up for the advisor, is the voice actually in?
Yep, that's in.
Oh shit! People would have heard that.
People would have heard that.
Oh, yeah, it'd be interesting to see what people. I mean, it'll be more noticeable when I do the teaser, but it'd be interesting to see what people think of the advisor actually being voiced.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to have to gauge reaction with that, I think, and see. Personally, I think it's kind of cool.
I think it sounds amazing. I mean, when CW came back with like the fully polished, effects and stuff, it's like, whoa.
Yeah, I know.
Are you gonna have like regular advisor noises coming out the speaker of the console as well?
Yeah, so I want him to actually nag the player until you approach the console. Because right now he says it once, and then when you approach the console, it kickstarts the thing. But I do mean alongside the actual lines.
Yeah, so obviously the voice is telepathic, so you hear it in your head.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that you hear locally through the consoles and noises.
Yeah, I need to do that. That's a really good idea. I can definitely do that.
You should use the advisor console sound from episode 1 that would play every time that they show up on the consoles. It's like this blip sound.
Oh yeah, it does that. Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. I'll definitely do that as well.
By the way, how is this hunter supposed to pick up that rock?
He's not. He's supposed to basically run after it. But
okay.
well, he does. He sort of focuses on it. If I throw it, he's clever enough to look at it. Because
fetch kind of implies that they're supposed to grab it and bring it back.
Absolutely. Well, the funny thing is, there's an NPC bullseye attached to it, which is why he focuses on it, because we just update the enemy memory. Maybe Badcock could comment on something like, you're not going to go and get it, or something like that. Go get it, boy! It'd be cool though if you, like, stomped on it. I'd like that.
Oh yeah, stomped on it and destroyed it. Yeah.
That would be sweet. That'd be wicked.
You'd be like, well, not exactly what it had in mind, but good enough.
Yeah, but good enough.
Does the hunter hate the bullseye that you put on the rock?
So there's an AI relationship which is supposed to tell him to hate it, so he should shoot it. Yeah. But for some reason, he doesn't. He just likes looking at it though. It's so cute, the way he just looks at it. Look, do you see that? Oh, that was amazing.
Just like the fuck is
possible that the bullseye is occluded by the rock, so it can't
snap!
Shoot it.
Yes, that's what it will be. There's something that somebody in YouTube chat has just reminded me. You know, we updated some of these settings the other day. I'm sure we did it the other day. The SMG2 is now missing from the bucket list.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't know why. It's going to be to do with a script file that we've changed at some point.
Yeah, I remember. I think I know why. I think I swapped the pistol into bucket 1 and the MP5 into bucket 2. Although I think we want to undo that because in case anyone is making a custom map and they want to use a melee weapon, we shouldn't put the pistol in
Oh, that's true.
bucket.
Yeah.
That was something that I had a conversation with Blixabon about, but that was just something that I kind of tried out. But it looks like maybe you updated the script for the MP5K, but not for the pistol, so now they
Yeah.
occupy the same bucket.
Probably missed it.
Plus, even if it is
So-
like a replacement
sorry
for
about
melee
that.
at the moment,
That's all right.
it's like second nature to press 2 to get a
Yeah.
pistol.
To get the side out
Yeah, I
there.
agree.
So, is there anything else I can show off? I know people are probably dying to see more gameplay. We got like 36 people watching us at the minute. I gotta show
Did
something.
did you get the changes to the model for the bull squid?
I don't think I did.
Oh shoot, because the code is cleaned up for it a little bit, so it's in that section where you might see one at the end of I don't know if that's a spoiler.
I
don't think it
could.
is. Yeah, you showed it in the teaser.
I could. Sorry to interrupt you. I could no clip actually to the end there, couldn't I? I could do that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Although if you didn't get the new assets, it's not going to work. That's the bad part.
Why don't we go and have a look at it and see what's there?
Sure.
We got a lot of folks with us tonight, so let's go and have a look. I don't think there's any spoilers, and I'm going to have to no clip through a little bit of it.
Oh boy, you're treading on thin ice here. It's like,
thin
you
ice.
could possibly show a thing.
Should we risk it for a chocolate biscuit?
It's up to you, man.
Let's risk it. I think after the first bit, Backup says something like, "There was a close one," and then he goes, "You really hurt my feelings back there." That's some new Willy lines there that people have never seen before.
Actually, yeah, you can show them around the den. I suppose, as long as you don't play
Wait, no,
that
that's-
one voice line.
You can't. I think that might be showing too much.
Actually, yeah, maybe it
Yeah,
would be.
because what Willy says once you get in, but I could do the beginning. I could do outside the den. We can skip the den, and then we can do the Zen grenade.
Oh yeah,
Why don't we
yeah.
do that?
Yeah,
Okay.
you can do that. Yeah.
Engage.
Have you got that Fanda move yet?
No, I haven't. No, that's a nightmare because it's a prop physics. Unless we can get
Yeah.
converted down to a dynamic. Unless I use the dynamic. I don't know. Here we go. Let's go for it. Ugh.
That was a close one. Holy shit.
You hurt my feelings back there.
Dude, replace your fucking smoke detector batteries already. It's been fucking 5 to 6 months.
Shut up.
I know.
Let's get out of here.
Hang on. Yeah, so that was some new Willy dialogue just there.
Amazing. World first.
We're not gonna go any further. Well, I could probably open the door. And you could look. We could peek in.
Oh,
We could do
I don't know.
A tantalizing peek.
Oh.
I'm just gonna stand here. We're just gonna have a look. What is in there? What is in there? Oh my god! What is in there? What is in there? What is that? What does that do? That's a really cool place through here, which is very well polished, and it's just awesome, and we love it. Right, let's no clip. Okay, how am I gonna do this? We're gonna go this way, and then we're gonna go this way. We're gonna go all the way around to here. And I just realised we're not gonna be able to get through a door because Wilson opens the doors for us.
And teleport? If you know his entity name.
That will only. That's the thing though. It's a bunch of parented entities at the minute.
Oh.
So that's not going to work. It doesn't matter. We can just show off the Zen grenade here. Here we go. Oh, there. He even says they're a little unstable.
Sounds like my kind of weapon.
Here we go. Do we have any weapons? Oh, we need weapons. Okay.
I have recorded a line. I'm so sick of this place. I remember doing that.
Yeah, that needs to be right here. I think there's a few left for CW to do here for Wilson.
After you've shown this off, you can show off Chapter 4 a bit again, because we've got some new people, so...
Have we got some new watches on?
I mean, they could always just rewind, but, you know, whatever.
Full squid seems to be working right at the minute. I know it's the old model, just for anyone wondering, we are going to change it.
Let's hold it!
So the changes, it's probably not noticeable, but it will avoid zombie goo puddles now. Blixabomb did that. And I made some changes so it shoots from the correct point on its mouth. I don't know if you noticed before, but the projectiles were actually coming out of its head previously.
Oh, right.
It looks pretty silly. And what else did I do? It just in general got cleaned up. Oh, it can swing its tail around now. Things you probably wouldn't notice, but they'll, you know, it's much better now.
That's cool. I forgot about this weapon, which is obviously a placeholder right now.
But not even placeholder, it's a fucking error.
Yeah, that's a massive error. Let's deal with these zombies. Get out of the way whilst we're doing it. Oh no, it crashed. Oh, I don't believe it.
Ah!
Not again. Right, we got some crashes going on tonight. We'll have to investigate these.
That's gotta be the Zen grenade.
That was a Zen grenade.
Probably tried to suck something in there that wasn't meant to be sucked.
Suck. I wonder what it sucked in.
Suck.
All of this kind of stuff we're going to have to debug because the Zen grenade was... People are going to be... God, can you imagine? I'm trying to think of
volatile thing.
all the different scenarios where people are going to be using Zen grenades. Like, they're going to be...
Yeah, like the first big crash bug that I needed to deal with is if it sucks up the player, that kills the game.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? I've noticed that.
I remember that, yeah.
Well, it's fixed now so that it just kills, like, it kills the player. It doesn't actually try to delete the player, which is what it was doing previously. So there will be a lot of cases like that where maybe it had to do with sucking up something that was on fire, I'm just gonna guess, or something like that. We'll need to do a lot of testing to figure out, like, in what conditions is it not appropriate to remove something from the game.
I did set that zombie on fire.
I don't think that would cause a problem, but you know, it's just a random guess. It'll take a lot of testing to narrow it down.
Holy shit.
I think from... I mean,
My feelings back
I'll
then,
test it
you
as
know?
much as I can as I'm going through it.
You said I was difficult to carry. I wasn't designed to be carried.
He wasn't designed to be...
Let's get out of here.
I'm just going to go and try it again. We're going to be brave. So just hold on to your butts because this may well crash again, but we'll just give it a go. I don't know where you're putting shoes. God damn it! Let's give it a go. Let's see what happens. We'll try it again. Bam! Just like that. Look at that. That just crashed straight out.
Whoa, let's have a look. Oh shit! That's never done that before.
That's never crashed there. That's been reliable.
There must have been a recent-ish code change that's causing that.
Yeah. We'll have to investigate that. Definitely have to investigate that because yeah, I'm sure that was more reliable beforehand. Alright, well that's something to have a look at some point. I don't know why. Could it be impact effects? Could it be something to do with the new impact effects that we've got going on?
I don't think so. Yeah, I can't say that.
Might as well show a bit of Chapter 4 again.
More chapter 4 again, yeah?
Yeah, just for some of the new people. Because they're probably too lazy to rewind.
That's right. We should do Q&A soon as well.
Yes, Q&A after this, yes. And I will read them out because one of these voices fucked. I'll read them out usually anyway. But,
Is it worth showing a little bit of Chapter 2 again with the new AI? We could do that.
I don't know if
I don't know.
I think people are bored to fucking death of Chapter 2.
I know, well, it's just...
It's like, what should we show? Let's show more Chapter 2!
but the fixes for patch 3 haven't necessarily been ported back.
Oh, they haven't been ported back.
into-
No, it's like... that's true, the sparks are still... extravagant.
Yeah, like the patch 3 sparks are not at Entropy 02 yet. Actually, I'm just getting started on an enormous project to combine Entropy 0 and Entropy 02 into a single repository that'll have separate projects. So you'll have different builds for if you want to build Easy 2 or build Easy 1, but they'll share the same files. And some code will be marked only compile for Easy 1 and Easy 2, just like Half-Life 2 and Episode 2.
Yeah.
So that's going to take a while, but once I'm done with that, you won't run into that anymore. Where if we patch something, then it's patched for everyone forever. That's
Yeah.
the goal.
It's cool. I was gonna say, did we show off the new slam changes?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. I think this is the first time they've
I
seen
think this
the
is
slam.
this was something
Yeah,
very cool.
actually, you're right.
This was something very, very cool that 1UpD has done for us. So the slam now has 2 modes of operation. You can stick it on walls in a satchel sort of mode. Oh, I just killed myself, for fuck's sake! Jesus Christ. We're not doing very good tonight.
Oh, does the laser activate immediately? Is that why you died?
No, it's because I right-clicked and blew it up in my face.
Right.
I was that much of an idiot. Right, let's get back to this demonstration.
Finally, the surface.
I'm just gonna cheat. Whoa! Did you see that brute? Cheats or no cheats, that brute was gonna kick my ass. Okay. Why can't I select the slam? And how? Oh yeah, right. Okay, so the basically the default mode of operation is you can put it on a wall, and it will stick to the wall like that, but it'll be like a satchel charge, in the sense that you can just right click and blow it up, which is really cool. So you can now place sort of like satchel traps. But if you press reload, it then turns into trip mine mode, like that. So you kind of have a bit of choice as to how you go about tricking rebels into falling into your traps.
Awesome.
Which is pretty cool. Anyway, for people who missed it, Chapter 4 footage.
Surprise! You do not want to go in there.
You do not want to go in there.
Oh, you used the surprise line.
I did, yeah. Yeah, I loved that. Oh shit. Okay, we got a problem now. I'm gonna have to... Oh god. Sorry. So this sequence, as soon as you look at the advisor, he sort of sucks you in with his mind thing. And now so it's sort of to focus the player's attention, so we can't move as fast, we can't jump or do anything. We now have to go have the conversation, but I won't show it on the stream because of spoilerinos.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut together and shoot a teaser as soon as I get the build, because I really want to do a nice teaser. It shouldn't take too long. It's only gonna be like however long the chapter 3 teaser was.
But what I'm going to do, I'm going to have to load the map again because of that, which I'm really sorry, because I know people are probably getting sick of this elevator, because I've been getting sick of this testing this map.
Yeah, did you shorten the length of time you're in that elevator from last time? Because I remember it was fucking forever.
It was way too long before. The thing is, the transition will happen as you push the button, so I can't handle the weight in the last map. Well, I could do. Let's just...
Finally, the surface.
Fight the surface. Right, we want to fly over here. We want to hit here. Oh no, we don't. We want to go
in there.
Here. Okay, let's go.
Oh, jeez. These things. Okay. They're on my side. They're on my side.
Okay, so folks that missed it, couple things. There's no 3D skybox yet. We're going to get that in soon, and that will change the look of this map dramatically. But right now, it's kind of good. It serves its purpose. This is something I'm playing the idea of Combine Drop Pod, which think of it like a headcrab canister that drops a suit charger. So we're going to be looking at sorting something out for that.
I'm sure we'd be able to modify the headcrab canister code and make a different type of canister just for that.
I'm sure we will, and I'm sure Kralik can probably do the model for that.
Yep.
I think, is he okay? I think he's frozen, guys.
Oh shit. Suffering from a stroke.
You want to play fetch?
You want to play fetch? Go play fetch.
Go get it, boy.
Okay, there you go.
Not so bad, I
It must be the scripted event that makes him do that animation, kind of bugs him out a bit. So.
There's some goofiness with the scripted sequences that I'm doing here. Okay, here we go. Let's hop in the APC for those that haven't seen it. It doesn't shoot yet. It's a work in progress, but it does everything else. It's really fast. I like it. It's good fun to drive. We're gonna go and get our asses kicked now by some rebels. I should also mention that things like weather effects are missing from this map. All of that kind of stuff is not yet.
It's going to be on the detail beta phase.
Suck. Is that guy coming for me? Yeah, look. Is that a brute? Oh, that's a brute. These brutes, man, are scary. I love playing with the new AI. If I hide, do you reckon he'll come and get me?
I don't know, don't they need like battle lines and shit?
Oh, yeah. I thought he was going to throw a grenade or something.
Battle lines are for the opposite, if we're staying in place.
Or
I
a
think
stuff.
because
Anyway.
he's suppressing your position. Oh, I'm behind on the stream a little bit, but he was shooting at the truck because he might pop out from behind the truck. So that kind of had a
Feels like it is something important. Never mind.
Okay, I wish I had the SMG too. Doesn't matter. We shall live. Whoa! Okay, fucking brutes, right? Genuinely, brutes scare the crap out of me now because they're like instant death. They come around the corner and I say, you're dead. Whoa! Yeah, this building I should mention is not furnished yet. It's not gonna look like this. It's not furnished. It's not done.
Very, very pre-alpha.
Got yeah, pre-alpha. Yeah, what's the word for pre-alpha?
The word for pre-alpha is pre-alpha?
Pre-alpha. Not done. Yeah. Ooh, I just had an idea. We could we haven't mentioned the stun stick changes, have we? I know it's just purely aesthetic, but it looks really nice.
Yeah, originally we were talking about changing how it works and making it work more like the wrench from Opposing Force, where you charge it up and then thwack it for more damage.
Yeah, the patch 3 stun stick is more of a direct port of how the stun stick operates in Half-Life 2 Deathmatch. So it has a cool sort of effect when you swing it. The little diodes on the thwacky part light up.
Should I show it off?
Yeah, if you wanna load up Entropy Zero.
Let's do that. We'll just show that off really quickly so that folks can see the new stun stick. Let's do that now. And then we can get to Q&A. We got quite a few viewers tonight.
It's been quite a while since we've done a live stream, so I think that's why we've got loads of people.
Let me just sort this out. I've got to get the window sorted out. Oh, I think it's just going to do it. That's handy.
Oh, so you got Torchlight 2 installed.
Oh, yeah, I've been playing that with the wife. She's a fan of that game.
Oh.
It's pretty good. I'll turn the volume down because I'm actually not going to hear you guys. I'm just waiting for OBS to catch up and actually stream the game. Because currently it's not doing it. What? Where is it? Sorry guys, you'll have to forgive me. OBS is having an actual, like, it's having a meltdown. Just bear with me for a moment there.
I can't remember if we mentioned it on stream or if it was just a conversation we had beforehand that I'm going to be relighting Entropy Zero for like a patch 4.0 or something at some point in the future.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
So for all of those who realized whilst playing Entropy Zero, Jesus Christ, why the fuck is everything so dark? It's actually, you can tell the story. I don't think you've told anybody else.
Oh god, it's so embarrassing.
Yeah, it's great.
This is fucking... So basically the reason why Entropy 01 is so dark... Let me just make sure it's not capturing the game. Hang on, I'm gonna have to drop down into. Oh, there it
do
is.
you run the game in window mode? Oh, okay.
I don't usually, but what's happening at the minute is OBS is basically spazzing out big time. So all I want to do is just there we go. Right. Okay. Well, that's better.
It appeared and then disappeared again. Oh no, you should just run it in windowed mode because I'm pretty sure
I'm just gonna do
OBS
that.
is like, yeah.
I'm just gonna do that. Oh Jesus Christ! Holy shit! Just drop it down. Whatever. Fuck. Okay. All I want to do is show off the new stun stick. Why is it so hard?
Yeah, I don't know what I run every game in windowed borderless mode, so it's like full screen, but I can tab in and out really easy.
I run Entropy 02 windowed mode at the minute because when I was first playing around with the Zen grenade, it would, funnily enough, it would occasionally crash the client. And in Windows 10, they fixed it now, it doesn't do it anymore. But in Windows 10, when Source would crash, it would literally just black screen the whole Windows 10. You had to restart. It pissed me off so much. You could get around that by doing running in windowed mode.
Oh.
Anyhow, let's check out this new stun stick very quickly. It's very, very nice. So this is Entropy 01 version 3. We got some new stuff. There's a couple more impact effects and stuff. But the new stun stick is the best thing in the world. Look at this thing. Love it. Ugh. It's so much better than what it was.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
It's no longer a reskinned crowbar. It's an actual stun stick. It's awesome. I love it. It's so cool. Just
Go on then. Why is the game so dark?
Oh jeez. Because I had a different monitor when I was developing Entropy 0, and turns out that monitor had its gamma way up, and I didn't even know. So when I was testing and making Entropy 01, everything looked fine, and then of course I released it and realised it wasn't fine. And then I ended up getting a new monitor, and now I can see why it's so bad.
So there you go, folks. That's why Entropy 0 is fucking dark, because Breadman had his monitor's brightness too high.
Yep.
Oh, so we are live. Okay, cool. Good to know.
Oh yes, hi Krellic, how you doing?
Hello. I just got it. I just got back from work. Yeah, it's one of those days. But unfortunately, I forgot to pick up ciders on the way home, so no cider.
So I'm just showing off. Just showing off, guys, the new stun stick, and also the new effects are in here. I'm just going to turn it down a little bit so we don't deafen the viewers. So the new spark effects are in. They're a bit more animated, which is nice.
I probably ought to have the video open. Let's have a look.
CW's done some new sounds for us, which is nice. Let's kill some rebels. Yeah. Come on, come on.
People are probably thinking, wow, why did it take so fucking long for them to make this?
Oh, there was so much going on with this mod in the background, especially with all the AI and stuff that we've changed. All the, 1UpD has just done so much work on it. We'll push a full changelog when we do release. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna need like a major features list for the trailer.
Yep, that's fine. We can sort that out.
And I can show them off.
What were you going to say? What up? Sorry.
The Rebel changes were definitely the biggest thing that we did. I mean, there were code changes that were sort of brought back from Entropy 02, but there were a lot of sort of bug fixes that were found along the way in that process. But also, the maps themselves needed to be changed to add more AI goals for the Rebels to follow. So there was a mapping component, there was a programming component, there was testing. It was actually, I underestimated how much work it was going to be.
So did I. Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. Okay, so we've shown off Chapter 4, we've shown off a little bit of Chapter 3, we've shown off the Zen grenade, we've shown off the stun stick. I think that's everything we can show at the minute. So we can probably hop into a Q&A.
Alright folks, so yeah, put your questions in the chat and I will read them out. Go!
whilst there's a moment of thing, Bedman, I just want to say that thing what I can't talk about. You know how you said it was sort of broken? I don't know why, but Blix has confirmed it's broken because it's broken on my end too.
Oh
So,
yeah,
so we're looking into it.
yeah, okay,
Don't worry.
that's cool. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It made me laugh because, yeah, I can't say anything on stream. It was funny as
Yeah.
hell. It was
It
like
doesn't work. It doesn't work properly on my end either.
it was kind of like a laugh out loud moment for me because
Yeah,
like, it was
so it's not-
so
yeah.
unexpected. But yeah, okay, so
you
that
guys should
It's
post
being looked
something
into.
in the developer chat because I want to see this. Whatever.
Okay.
Sounds funny.
what just 2 seconds, Trivy. What I will do one up is I'll push a build after the stream, and then you can see it in the build.
Oh no.
You'll have to experience it. It's one of them.
Oh no, I've got a bad feeling about this.
It's pretty bad. It's funny, but it is pretty bad. I don't know why it's happened though. I don't know.
Mm.
Okay. Trivy, I am ready for questions. Or I should say, we are ready for questions.
Awesome. Okay, so Elephant's Doing Crack asks, will there be any other characters besides Wilson or Bad Cop?
Yes, but I can't talk
Is
about
that
it.
not? Oh, that's another one we're not talking about, is it?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
We're not talking about them.
Oh, I need to tweak that as well. So remind me later, because that's also something I need to fix.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, there is. Yep.
Cool. Retro Tree Studios asks, will Entropy 02 feature weapons from Half-Life 1 like the Hive Hand?
It will not. In fact, I think we may have just basically hit our sort of weapon loadout. I don't know if we're gonna give him a crossbow or not yet because of the crossbow wielding rebels that we've got later on. But aside from that, I think we're pretty much done. We don't want to go crazy with weapons because that's one of those things where we could basically just be like, let's turn it into a weapons mod and just go full weapons.
For a mod like S-Mod, which has like weapons coming out of every orifice, it doesn't matter. They don't care about balance or anything like that. They just want like a super fun, wacky Half-Life 2 experience. With Entropy 02, every new weapon we add, we have to think about how we're going to balance that throughout the rest of the game. As soon as we introduce it, where do we put ammunition? How much ammunition do we give them? And every new weapon we add, we have to think about that, and it's a huge undertaking on its own.
There's got to be
Totally agree.
There's got to be a reason for each weapon, in my opinion. So, like,
exactly,
the SMG2 is put in because it's great at clearing corridors, and we've got a lot of corridor sort of based fights in Chapter 2, and you're probably looking at the same thing in Chapter 5 and potentially Chapter 6. So something like the normal Half-Life 2 SMG just wasn't satisfying enough to fire, so we needed something new, which is why we brought in the SMG2 for that, as an example.
And it was massively requested as well, wasn't it?
It was really massively requested. I think the only weapon that we've sort of done as a novelty is the 357. That's our sort of novelty edition, because it doesn't really serve a purpose apart from it's just a fancier version of the existing 357.
Yep, I mean the 357 on its own, it's the boomstick. It kills people from range with one blow, and the changes that we're making to it make it well. Obviously, we haven't been able to play it yet because it's not been put in properly and coded yet. But being able to like fan the hammer and with the new animations and everything is going to give it a big new lease of life from the old Python. It's the same old Python, but with a new twist.
Yeah, so like Trivia is saying, you can fan the hammer. That's what it will be able to do.
Really way more interesting animations.
I wanted to mention the slam is sort of a Half-Life 1 weapon because it's the satchel and the trip mine merged together.
That's a good point.
But other than that, I don't think any of the weapons are really callbacks to Half-Life 4.
Yep.
I guess you could argue the Zen grenades are kind of like the displacement cannon almost.
Yeah, that's a nice little throwback to opposing force, I guess.
Okay, so Nathan Samodi asks, is Entropy 02 Enterol? I'm going to assume that's a mistake. Going on Steam, and the answer is yes.
Absolutely, it's going on Steam.
Like Entropy 01, Entropy 02 will be on Steam when it is released.
Yep, and it'll be free as well. I get a lot of questions.
100% free.
I get loads of people asking me about that. Of course it's going to be free. We don't have the money to pay Valve for a license for this thing.
Yep. The only cost is your time.
Yep.
Let's see what else. Will there be a good cop? Asks Mark Archer. No.
I think
Not
that's
strictly
what
speaking.
custom maps are for, you know?
Yeah.
I'd like to
Yeah.
think that at some point someone will create a good cop map.
There's already a good cop. They're called Barney.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
That's your good cop. I mean, it's all relative because within terms of the Combine, bad cop is a good cop. He's a very good cop. He's the best cop they've ever had,
He
probably,
is,
and ever
yeah.
will have. So yeah, it's all relative. Kaya Yang asks, so the alpha teaser for Entropy 02 is Wilson? I'm assuming you're talking about the Chapter 3 teaser I made a while ago. The spooky one with all the red light. Yes, the person you hear in the background is Wilson.
Oh,
If you see the
yeah.
light turn on, that is Wilson.
Yeah, that was really cool. Yeah, that's Wilson. Yeah. Because we weren't actually going to reveal Wilson, but I kind of felt like we'd gotten through like 2 months of work on Chapter 3 and we weren't going to show any of it off, so we had to show something. So eventually we went with Wilson, I think.
Yeah, I can't even remember the decision we came to, whether we planned on keeping Wilson a secret or whether just for the teaser I was just like, yeah, I'm going to introduce him in a really sort of ambiguous, sneaky way, and then
we'll reveal it.
You know, reveal it later on. I can't remember what the plan was.
It's so difficult to show because the sequences we've done with him, I think, are just amazing. They are so good, and they're polished. We just need the NPC in. The problem is, he basically, every one of his lines spoils something, so it's really hard to show.
There's so much, story and stuff in Chapter 3.
Yeah, I was thinking that the other day, you know, when I was thinking about Chapter 3, that is the story chapter at the minute. Like, there is so much narrative going on in that chapter. There's a lot of revelations and stuff. It's really interesting how we've handled that. You know, compare it to Chapter 1, which is like blasting through Nova Prospect, and Chapter 2, which is blasting through Arbite. Chapter 3 has a lot of...
It's like a break in pace.
It is,
almost,
yeah.
In a way. I think it's, I think especially once Chapter 2's, what's the word? Elongation gets completed, I think that's going to be really nicely paced.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's see. Shembino asks, what type of vocoder did you use for Bad Cop? It's spot on with the retail. Well, it's not spot on with the retail, it's spot on with the beta vocoder. Well, there's a couple of vocoders that they used in the Half-Life 2 beta, so it's spot on with one of them. I can do the other one as well, that you actually hear in Chapter 1 for the briefing, which we might change, but that's another thing. But basically, it's just vocodecs in FL Studio with a carrier plugged into it that is noise extracted from a Half-Life 2 Civil Protection voice line from the beta. That's, you basically take it and you use a function called blur in Edison for FL Studio, and it basically just makes noise out of it, and you plug that noise into vocodecs, fiddle around with the settings in vocodecs, and hey presto, you have a beta sounding vocoder. If I could make the retail vocoder, I would fucking be over the moon. I've been wanting to make the Civil Protection and Combine vocoders since I was like 12 or whatever the hell, you know. Never been able to figure it out, no matter how much I've dug, even like to like super old forum posts of people being like, yeah, I've done it, look, here's a link, and then obviously the link's dead and nobody's like replied how to actually do it, so I have no idea if anybody's ever actually achieved it. So if anybody, like, friggin', like, sorry, is it Kelly Bailey, the guy that did the sound of...
I think so.
So yeah, if Kelly Bailey, if I could speak to him and just be like, dude, like, spell out a recipe of doing this vocoder, I'd be over the moon. I'd love to be able to do it.
I wonder if you could tweet him or something. You could totally get in touch with him.
I can try. I'm sure other people have asked him though, and if he'd given them the recipe, I'm sure it would have been posted to the internet by now. I mean, I
Yeah.
can try. But yeah. So we've got a Half-Life 2 beta vocoder that sounds very accurate, and that's good enough for now. Especially given that Bad Cop from the very beginning has used that vocoder.
Yeah, I
so
agree
I
with
jumped on
that.
the chance to be like, hey, I can do it.
It's super cool. I love it.
So there you go. What else is there? So Nimbus Storm asks, is 3650 kind of like the Arbiter from the Halo series? So, as in he's sent on suicidal missions and stuff.
That's
Kinda?
Yeah. You know what? I never thought of that, but he kind of is. Because
He's not really an outcast though. He's not like a heretic.
No,
he's like a zealot.
He's the opposite.
So
He is a complete zealot. So he's kind of
he's
like
just really good.
He's kind of like a reverse arbiter, and he's really good.
He's like the angel of death for the Combine, basically.
I think what's really interesting about his situation is the Combine saw how he survived by being by himself in City 10, like an Arctic environment alone with rebels, and that's why they've sent him north, because it's a similar kind of thing. They've got a little rebel group up there. Well, what they think is little, it's not. But they sent him up there, because it's kind of like he's got that niche skill. They can sort of deploy him when they need him, and they know he's going to get the job done.
He's the secret weapon.
He is.
I think you could draw some parallels because, like, the Arbiter, he didn't die, but he sort of lost face because he was the fleet commander of the fleet that failed.
That's
so he
right.
had to be executed. And then they sort of resurrected him in a way by giving him a new identity. So it's not like literal, but it's like in terms of his identity, he died, and so they put him into a new body-ish in terms of their culture. But with Bad Cop, it's like the same thing, but literally, like his body died, so they put him in a new one.
It's interesting, isn't it? That's really cool. I never thought of that, but there are definite parallels there.
It's funny because I just got finished replaying Halo 2 pretty recently, so that was like fresh in my mind.
Oh man, I'm waiting for the Master Chief Collection. I don't want to derail this conversation.
Halo Reach flighting begins
Fucking-
next week for like a short subset of people.
Oh shit,
Oh, that's awesome.
that's gonna be so fucking.
So basically,
cool.
none of us. It'll be the streamers probably.
I'm looking really forward to it as well.
Yes.
You can technically already actually play Master Chief Collection on PC, but you can't play the ones on Steam right now. But it's because if you have Microsoft account, you can link up whatever you have on your Xbone to your PC. And I was going to give it a go and see what it's like, but obviously it's not going to be as good as one they're actually custom building for PC.
Yeah.
Which is, that's what I'm waiting for. But that's going to be cool. Halo Reach was always my favorite Halo, with Halo 2 in close succession.
I loved Halo 2. I don't want. Halo 2 and Halo 3, I think, my favourites.
The thing is, Halo 2, Halo 3 basically occupy the same space of they're both excellent. Halo Reach though is just like above and beyond for me.
Halo 2's ending was such a massive kick in the balls though.
Yeah.
Like holy
What's it
shit, like, what are you doing? Finishing this fight. It's like holy shit, here we go, and then credit
there's
roll.
an
Like
arbiter.
fuck.
And there's an Arbiter level, as much as I love playing as the Arbiter.
Anyway, questions.
Questions. Yeah.
Don't think too much yet. Casual Citizen asks, will Bad Cop come across the Borealis?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
It's the linchpin of
Maybe.
all their plans, etc., etc. Yeah, probably.
Big maybe. It's a maybe.
Big
There you
maybe. Yeah. Can't tell you.
Nathan Samodi asks, how many new enemies are there going to be in Entropy 02?
Let me think about this. 1, 2.
Depends on what you count.
Yeah, because the rebels have got variants.
That are new.
Yeah,
Yeah, the AI is new, pretty much.
it's awesome.
And like, are Globies a separate NPC from zombies in this consideration?
Oh yes,
I mean, like is that what you call them? I found a reference to that. In
Globies, yeah.
I get it.
Globies.
I didn't know what that meant at first, and I was looking at it. I was like, oh hey, that's what they're called. But yeah, the glowing zombies are new-ish, but they're also not new. It kind of depends on what you.
Yeah, they have new functionality. So the Globies or the slime zombies, they drop like pools of caustic slime on the floor when they die. So that's like quite a new mechanic that you're gonna have to work around.
Yeah, that's quite.
There's the bull squid. That's
Yeah,
kinda
bull
big.
squid.
Oh yeah, the bull squid.
Oh, do I still need to be doing that, by the way? Because I forgot about that. We got permission for something.
We got a new model,
It's
didn't we?
Nice.
From
I'm trying to be vague because I can't remember if we said that how much we said. I don't know how much we said we are, and now I'm going to say. Considering the last time I didn't know that. And
Oh,
said,
sorry.
Well, I think bull squids are open season.
Ball squids
Okay,
are open
cool.
season. We got
Right,
the model, didn't we? From we got rights.
Brain Dead. I think
That's
his
it. Yeah.
name is Brain Dead. His old themed one, which I still need to figure out how to actually download. And we do have permission to use it. I don't know if I still have it on my. I do still have him on my friends list. I could just ask him, hey, I have no idea how to download Black Mesa stuff. First of all, I could just quickly check if he's still cool with using it. I don't see why he wouldn't be.
Yeah, I mean, he's already credited in the mod little credit file I've got for it. So.
He's actually was last online a week ago, so I think my chances of getting hold of him are going to be slim.
Mother of dog.
So I might just.
There's no rush though, man. You know.
Yeah.
We're not. It's all good. We're just chill. It's all right. We'll sort it out. But yeah, that's gonna be cool.
As for more new enemies, there are going to be some more human enemies that we're planning to introduce in Chapter 4. I think the Expeditionary Force.
Yep.
I don't think they're very spoilery. Basically, they're going to be some dudes that are in like Arctic gear, and they can like repel, and they use like the alt fire on weapons and stuff. They're like think of them like the Combine elites of the rebels, I suppose. They're going to be they're going to look beefier, they're going to look different, they're going to behave different, and have more tools and stuff that they can do. So that's going to be nice.
Yeah, it'd be really fun to see the AI on them. Maybe even if we could turn it up to 11, just with them. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because the AI already is constantly surprising me. I think that's my favorite thing about this mod is just that every time I test it, it's always different, and it always surprises me. There's always something that gets me about the AI now. So I can't wait to see these other human variants of rebels.
Yeah. I mean, the way I imagine them, as I've already said, I imagine them to look like. I mean, we all know the Thing, right? You know, the guys how they dress in that with the big puffy coats and masks and all that climbing gear and backpacks and shit on. That's how I imagine them to look, basically.
Yeah, and that would make sense for the environment.
Hence, we call them the Expeditionary Force because they spend a lot of time outdoors.
Expeditioning.
Yes.
Doing expeditions.
So yeah, I think enemy-wise, that's all we can really talk about, I think.
Yeah. If you think about it, there's two things that we really can't talk about, potentially. One that's already in the game.
It's a bugger, isn't it? Because I've worked on all the ones that we can't talk about.
I know. It's so frustrating.
That's why I need to work on that bull squid, so we can... Even then, I didn't do that. I'll just be boarding it. It's fine.
We did figure out another job for you to do as well. There's this Combine drop pod that like brings in supplies, and we could do with a nice model for that.
Yeah.
That'll be discussed further on
we
along
can
the line,
talk
I think.
about that at some point. That's not critical right now, but yeah.
It's a thing.
I immediately thought of Kralik for that because I just know you'll be able to sort out something for that. That will just suit it.
Hack apart a head crab pod.
A canister or something, yeah.
I'm sorry.
I reckon so.
I had to drop out of the call for a second. Did I miss anything important regarding new NPC?
I was just whinging that all the stuff I've worked on can't be shown. It's alright.
Oh yeah, that is too bad.
Don't worry. It's okay. It's fine.
All in good time.
Plenty of my stuff has been shown. I'm just happy to be here, honestly. So it's fine.
It will pay off. I mean, when you think about the stuff that we haven't talked about, there was something going on in Discord the other day, and people were talking about a leak. And I'm saying, trust me, if Entropy 02 had been leaked, you would fucking know about it because there would be so much stuff flying around that we haven't talked about. So yeah, it'll be all right.
Oh my God, G-Man is Bad Cop's father. Oh.
Oh, well done, Trivy. Nice going.
Oh, jeez. Which
Dad.
segues into our next question. By Casual Citizen. They ask, is Bad Cop going to meet the G-Man in the future? And that, we had, the thing about that is we had a long, somewhat hilarious conversation about the G-Man in Entropy 02.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was last time, wasn't it?
I was in stitches.
Yeah.
Basically, No, we're thinking no.
We're thinking no. It's too cliche, I think.
I don't think this question can or should be answered. You know, like maybe. You know, it's. I don't know why people want to know these things. It seems like something I'd rather.
Okay, here we go. Here's
Yeah,
here's the official answer. Kinda yeah, kinda no.
Yeah, I would agree with
that's a
that.
good
I would agree with that.
Because we have some nice stuff planned, but it's kinda yeah, kinda no. Not really. Maybe. Kinda sorta. There you go. That's the answer.
The lines are blurred. Permanently.
Let's see. Nimbus Storm asks, does the Combine Advisory really even care about 3650? Well, you'll just have to play the game and find out.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a play it and find out. Care is an interesting word when it comes to the advisory. I don't know if they have the word care in their vocabulary. 3650, I would say, is more of an asset. It's not like there's a relationship. It's more of he is a tool that is to be applied.
A very
to
valuable
situation.
tool.
But
if he would have died, they'd probably be like,
that's right. Yeah, he's very valuable. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we can't go into, but part of Entropy Zero in general, 1 and 2, is about Bad Cop trying to prove his worth, I think, to the advisory. So there's a bit of that in there, but I mean, you'll have to play them on and find out. Don't want to spoil anything.
Yep. So Icos asks, will we get more story about Bad Cop's past? Maybe a playable past, possibly, like random flashbacks to add on to a story. Depends how far into the past you want to go, I suppose.
Yeah, so here's the thing. So the other day, I wrote a little bit about his past, which it's not set in stone in any way, and I'm probably not going to be sharing it publicly. Whether we go ahead with putting some of that stuff in to the game or not, I don't know.
The only place I could see that sort of stuff fitting is the dream sequence that we're planning on doing. Like even like tiny little crumbs of like a hint of his past. That's probably the best way to do it.
There is one amazing thing that blew my mind. I was replaying Entropy 01 the other day, and there was something in there that just sort of connects with this backstory that I've written, and it just works so well. I did a Todd Howard there. It just fucking works, because it does. And I was like, okay, so maybe that could be what happened, but I don't know if I ever want to be that specific with players, because part of the fun and part of it being Half-Life is to have that sort of mystery that sort of sits behind it. So, do we really know who Gordon Freeman is? We know like a tiny bit. We know about where he studied and how he got to Black Mesa, but we don't really know anything else about him. Really. I mean, what
was he an only child? Did he have brothers and sisters?
Exactly. You know, and you don't know what he was like before. He might have been like a fucking party animal, or he could have been a serial killer in Austria before he came across to, you just don't know.
No.
But it's fun to speculate. Does he kill scientists? If the player, lets him kill scientists, then he does. Then, does that mean that Freeman's kind of crazy? I don't know. So
well, he is mute.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe he's nuts. Maybe that's why he was, so good at surviving, because he's crazy. But my point is, sometimes it's probably best not to disclose this stuff, because it sort of takes a lot away from the story.
And from the character. And from your own kind of interpretations of the character.
Yeah, because it's... absolutely. Because it's got to be...
You just imagine, though, if Freeman was actually crazy this entire time, and all this craziness was just sort of brewing up in his head throughout the entire game, and then at one point he's just sort of sitting in a rebel base one day, and then he just jumps and goes,
gets it all out of his system.
Like, Gordon?
Did you just talk? Holy shit. But it will take a lot away from the character. So it might be that we hint and we allude to things. I know that the reason why I wrote it, funny enough, to go back to the question, is I wanted some substance behind the hallucinations that we're going to be putting in. And I didn't want them to just be meaningless. I wanted them to have meaning. And I sort of wrote that backstory to maybe it can help us design these hallucinations and these audio sounds and stuff like that to sort of give a little bit of meaning to it. So, I mean, in terms of his sort of backstory, that's probably where you're going to get most of the information. But that's not going to be like given to you straight, like, oh, this is what happened. You're going to have to interpret that, and you'll probably have your own ideas as to what happened. I think that's the best way to do it. It leaves it a little, it sort of blurs the lines a little bit.
Yeah. I'm looking forward. I mean, the dream sequence is going to be like the very last thing in like the entire mod that's probably going to be made. But that's going to be pretty fun to play around with.
I keep thinking about it. I keep having ideas about how I can actually do it. But yeah, that'll be the last thing we put together.
I mean, by the time we do that, like all the engine improvements and stuff, like especially to do with like lighting as well, are gonna hopefully be in.
Yeah.
So the stuff that you're gonna be able to do with the dream sequence off the bat is gonna be crazy.
Yeah, there's all sorts of ideas I've had for it.
Alrighty. So Nimbus Storm asks, how much did you think people would want a sequel to Entropy 01?
I didn't think people would want a sequel to it at all. And then after I released it, it was literally, I just had that sort of asked in my inbox like every day. Like people were asking me, when are you going to start working on Entropy 02? And I was like, oh my god. Because when I initially released it, I didn't want to make number 2 because I just basically spent 2.5 years building it. I wanted to just go and do something else.
But you just can't keep away from bad cop. It's just too fun.
No. I mean, it's one of those things. Like, I'm getting messages a lot about it. I was getting good reviews on Steam. I was getting inboxed about it like every week. And I was at work. And then it sort of thought, okay, well, if I was going to do it, how would I do it? So I wrote a story draft, ran with the draft. People were still asking for it. So then I just thought, you know what, screw it. We started doing it.
I mean, just imagine once Entropy 02 is done and finished and released, and we have all the code and stuff in there that's made it way more procedural the way that you can create things now. You know, so much stuff is in script now and not like hard coded into the maps. Making new maps for Entropy 02, you could just fucking make them like super quick and shove them in because everything will just work without having to. Everything is slow right now because we have to do all the, you know, coding the weapons and modeling all the things. But once the game's done, you could just start making, you know, additional maps for it, like delving into like what was it like to be bad cop when he was a civil protection dude, you know, and other stories.
You could do all of that. And the great thing, what Blixabon has been working on, you've got all that stuff with Wilson. So if you wanted to make your own maps with Wilson, you don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
He will just, you know, by the end of development, he will comment on things that are happening in the world around him. You don't have to do anything. You're just dropping in the NPC. And
everything is dynamic as fuck.
You can sort of spice up the Rebel AI by using things like battle lines and secret scripts and things like that, which sort of make it better. But even just by itself, the new AI is incredibly interesting to fight. It does really interesting things, and it is hard. Like the Rebels kick my ass when I'm playing it, at least. All of that you can just drop into a map, and it just works. It's great. I Todd Howard it again. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're hoping to see a nice surge of like user-made content for Entropy 02 because of how easy it's going to be to just make maps for it and have all that lovely jubbly Cody smizzle in there without any effort.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great baseline for just making stories where you play a Combine as well. Yeah. It's such a pain in the ass to set up in like vanilla Half-Life 2. And I don't think Human Error never released an SDK, did they?
They did release their code.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, their code, but is it an easy format for people to just make maps for?
Not really. I do wish more people would have made maps for Human Error. I thought about that before. It's like it seems like that would have been a great opportunity, but I haven't seen any custom maps made for it. So
yeah, I mean,
it's a great mod.
Even if you didn't want to make a map with you playing as Bad Cop, you can just put a gag on Bad Cop and he won't talk. So you could just be a Combine soldier doing an assignment, you know.
Exactly. Yeah. There's so much potential for maps and stuff when we release.
And it's all
It
there,
is
built in.
exciting that the Rebel changes will be released shortly with patch 3, so modders will be able to see what
Oh,
we
yes.
did and
Oh,
sort of
yeah.
what's being talked about, because that's all going to be published on the Entropy Zero GitHub as soon as it's released.
Yep, that's a really good
There you
point.
go.
I forgot about that. So the new Rebel changes will be coming to Entropy Zero version 3, which will be out really soon. So you get to play that. We'll get to play them really soon.
Okie dokie. Elephants Doing Crack asks, how is Brink Wilson coming along? And I can rephrase that, I suppose, a little bit. I think he means like after chapter 3, you can take Wilson with you. Like, how do you attach him to the APC and stuff like that, and take him along for the rest of the ride? How's that going?
So in terms of that, we've just had discussions. We haven't actually done anything yet to the NPC or anything to help bring Wilson along. I did remember something the other day. The Jeep, the muscle car in episode 2 actually has a rack at the back for Magnuson devices. So there may be a way we can easily sort of chuck Willy on a rack on the back of the APC or something like that. But definitely want to accommodate for that. And I don't know, I really want to accommodate for that. I don't want players to have to basically walk through the Arctic carrying the turret. I think that would be really irritating.
So he's like Gnome, but like way better. He's actually useful. You can attach him to the fucking vehicle rather than having to jam in awkwardly as a physics object.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's actually a valuable thing to keep around rather than a pain in the ass.
You've got that extra narrative that comes out of him, I guess, at points we can plan. Then he opens secret doors as well, which keep you like, give you access to Zen grenades and health and all that kind of thing. So yeah, it is worth bringing him along for a playthrough, definitely.
And the only thing you have to put up with is his personality.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing else will be. I mean, some people might find his personality annoying enough. Having to like jam him awkwardly inside an APC somehow would just be like way too much. So yeah, everything else is going to be not a burden.
It's got to be smooth. Yeah. It's going to be fun. I guess there'll be opportunities to lose him. Like you could chuck a Zen grenade down and it could suck Willy in, and that'll be it.
Yeah.
You'd lose him, and that'll be the end of it. And you'd have to play the game again if you wanted to get the achievement. But yeah.
Yep.
There's all sorts to consider there.
So 9seed asks, will there be another Bad Cop Q&A? I really like the last one. Why, thank you.
Yeah. We should totally do another one.
Yep.
That was awesome.
There were loads of fucking questions asked in the last one, though. I don't know what else could be possibly asked of him.
Yeah, we had loads, didn't we? I mean, if you... I know that you did all the timestamps.
It took me forever to fucking make that thing. Jesus.
We got asked so many questions, all narrative, all lore, which was wicked. I really enjoyed that. It was all like Half-Life lore.
Yeah, I was asked for
Combine
subtitles as well, and I fucking blanched at the idea of having to subtitle that entire fucking thing. Although I do understand, because even like I went back to it like sort of recently-ish and listened to it, and it can be a little bit difficult to understand sometimes, even though I'm used to the fucking vocoder. So I can understand people who aren't used to it can like really struggle to understand him. I might be able to tweak the vocoder a bit to make it a bit more understandable, because I did find listening back to it, because it doesn't have as much processing as the non-live version, it's like a little bit more raw. So I'll see if I can maybe tweak it a bit and make it sound less,
Awesome. We'll plan for that.
All right, see you, Kralik.
Bye-bye.
See you later, buddy.
See you.
So yeah, I can try and tweak it, get it sounding a bit cleaner, but I can't promise anything, because yeah, it's going straight through the vocoder and out again, raw, no normalization, no anything else. It's just straight through and out.
Yeah.
And adding subtitles to like 2 hours or whatever the fuck it was.
I don't think we could do that, unfortunately. I mean,
I can certainly add subtitles to like the short teasers and stuff. Actually, I asked you about that, didn't I? Have you been able to give me like transcription?
No, I need to look at that. Just leave it with me.
I will happily subtitle like the shorter videos with his voice in.
That would be really handy. But yeah, if you want another Bad Cop Q&A, we can totally plan for that. That would
Yep,
be cool.
I don't mind doing another one,
That would be
even
awesome.
though it fucking wrecks my voice. I was literally turning away like every other moment, just go, you know.
Yeah, it's hard on your voice.
Okay, what else is there? Oh, Casual Citizen asks, is there going to be another epic stalker babysitting section?
Thankfully, no. The babysitting section is going to be with Wilson.
Yeah, the only thing I can compare low with is chapter 3. But it's like, yeah, it's the comparisons that can be sort of made there, but everything that you find annoying about the Stalker section in Entropy 01 doesn't really apply to chapter 3, I don't think.
You know what I love so much about that bit, the bridge between chapter 2 and chapter 3 is you can see where, how do I put this? What happens, right, to get us to chapter 3, you can see where that was learnt from in City 10. Do you see where the inspiration came from? From the... I should probably type it because it's so hard to say.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Very nice.
Yeah. I meant to mention that like months ago when we did it. I was going to explain that that's why I did it that way.
I'm still like in two minds whether we should like either hinder or turn off the player's NVGs for chapter 3 because it should be lit in a manner where there should be no pitch black areas. That I mean, because I spoke about the lighting in chapter 3 like quite a lot because that's what I want to do. Like there shouldn't be any pitch black areas that you need to actually see into. Everywhere should technically be lit, and you shouldn't technically need to use your NVGs ever.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
And I think it'll add like way more to the tenseness of it by not being able to use your NVGs in that area. Because I've played plenty of games where you don't have any like flashlight candle or anything. Like Layers of Fear 2, I've been playing shitloads of recently. There's no way for you to create lighting for yourself in that game. And at no point do I think, oh fuck, I can't see shit, you know.
Yeah, because it's lit properly. So it's lit to sort of drive the player.
Yeah,
movement.
It's still spooky and dark, but not in the way that's irritating that you're like, fuck, I can't see.
Yeah, well, I mean, we walk through the Emancipation Grill, so maybe that's what does it.
Exactly.
And then it just turns back on
like,
conveniently when we get out.
Yeah, something like that. So
that would be
worth playing around with.
That would be a throwback to the first mod as well.
Yeah, exactly. And people would be thinking, "Oh fuck, not this shit again," and then it turns out to be actually good.
way better. Yeah, like 100 times better.
And it would be for the bad cop to be like, "Oh fuck, no, not this again, no."
We should totally do that. Yeah.
Because with me getting my mitts on the lighting of chapter 3, I'm gonna make damn well sure you can go through that thing without needing NVGs.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Cool. Okay, let's see if there are any more questions.
We should wrap this up soon.
Yeah. I don't think there are any more questions. Oh, Nimbus Storm asks, how goes the new health system? I want to know this. I don't think it's been started yet.
We haven't started yet.
Nope. I think that's gonna have to be put off for a while. Because like I said earlier, I'm going to do a huge like repo migration where I'm cherry picking changes over from our current repository into the Entropy 01 repository. That's going to take a really long time. And that's all basically, well, maybe I shouldn't say that yet. I'll post it in dev chat later. But yeah, so that's going to be occupying a lot of time. I think the health system is a pretty ambitious change that we'll need to wait until we're closer to alpha completion.
Yeah.
And then we can kind of reevaluate, like, do we actually need that? Are the maps balanced without it? You know, how is that going to affect the gameplay? I think we need to do more sort of analysis and testing and see, like, how is the actual health balance of the maps as it is, you know?
That kind of stuff you can't really know until we've got the mod fleshed out start to end, because you want to be able to walk all the way through it without Yeah, it's a good
Well,
point.
for me, it wasn't a question of balancing the game. It was about making it more of a combined soldier experience. Because they talk about stim packs in the
Yeah,
game, and I
yeah.
thought, wouldn't it be cool to include them as an actual mechanic and make you feel more like I'm a combined soldier. I'm not Gordon Freeman who's
Right.
just drinking these vials. I'm actually injecting shit into myself. These stim packs.
And there might be other ways we can do that too, which is why I think it's more of a post-alpha kind of discussion.
Okay.
I think it will have to wait to post alpha, just because that's going to be a big undertaking. And right now, a lot of the work we're doing, it's sort of targeted to the chapter. So when OneUp's basically done the business with the code stuff that's going to happen next, we're going to have to focus on like the APC code. So that's going to have to get done. And then as we move on to the, there's going to be the expeditionary rebels. So that's probably going to be more code that we're going to have to focus on. Until we're sort of
Yeah.
through alpha, we're gonna, you guys are gonna love it when we get to the end of the mod that we've built it start to finish. For me, in Entropy 01, that was the best time because that was when I could go back and I could prune anything. You kind of get like free reign then. It's like, oh wow, we've got the mod. There's a bit of relief now. We can just focus on pruning and refinement, and I reckon that's when it will come because we'll have the freedom to do it then. And that's the other thing. You sort of mod the mod. You sort of, we can mod it. We can chuck it in. We can go and play it, see if it fits or whatever. Yeah. So I think that's when that will come around.
Originally, with the health system, I was thinking that we needed to get it in as early as possible because then we could start balancing the maps and putting in, health where we need to put it in and start thinking about that early on. But I suppose it also works later on as well because we can literally just go back and it's just an entity at the end of the day. It's a health pack. You can just say, oh, we'll put one there, we'll put one there, we'll put one there, test it. It's pretty easy to actually play around with how to balance health. So it's not that big a deal that we do it later on.
Yeah, I think it'll work out best doing it later on. I can tell that would detract a lot from the current sort of workflow that we've got of targeting code at chapters. Right now, there's an exception in that obviously we've just done the Entropy 01 stuff, so OneUp is taking that opportunity to do like a repo migration thing. So, that's kind of different. But I think in general, until we finish alpha, or until we have like a full alpha build, those kind of things will have to just be put on the burner.
Yeah, that's fine. There's a question here I definitely want to answer. Elephants doing.
I put some sort of developer comments in chat that I didn't want to say out loud on the stream, but I want you guys to kind of see.
Oh, well, let me have it.
Regarding the statements I just made. But anyway, sorry.
Oh yes, I see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah.
That's worth a discussion. Okay, so Elephant's Doing Crack asks, will there be a Q&A with Wilson? And the answer is no, simply because the way that Wilson's voice is processed is an entirely different method to how Bad Cop's is done. Bad Cop can do Q&As because the vocoder goes through FL Studio's vocodex, which I can plug into an output that is then that can be processed in real time and basically picked up by a virtual audio cable to be fed into like Discord or whatever. Wilson's voice processing is done using Melodyne, which cannot be done in real time. It's like do one thing, then another thing, then another thing, then save it out. It can't be fed out in real time into an output. And even then, I'm the one that does the processing. CW3D is the voice actor. So unless he could get his hands on that software himself and do the processing himself and figure out how to get it to output in real time himself, it won't be possible. And I don't think Melodyne can do that anyway. I might be wrong, but from my knowledge and experience with the program, you can't output that processing in real time.
Yep, I don't think you could do it.
So yeah, no Wilson Q&A, I'm afraid.
The only thing you could do is you could do a baked Q&A.
Yeah, baked Q&A, yeah.
I don't mean we all get
so
high.
No real-time thing.
Yeah, you just...
Wilson getting high.
Yeah. Okay, have we got any like final questions? Because gonna have to
We'll do one more
disappear.
question then. We'll do one more question because it's quite an interesting one because we do have
Yeah.
thoughts about it. Casual Citizen asks, is friendly fire going to be a thing in Entropy 02?
Oh god, I can't remember what we said about this because we've had several discussions.
I think basically we're going to have different. It's going to work in different ways depending on the difficulty setting, or maybe just a setting that you do in the options that's independent from difficulty. But either way, there's like different ones. There's like ones where you can't hit friendlies at all. There's one where you can hit friendlies only outside of combat, and there's another one as well that I've forgotten. I think One Up D might be able to remember that.
Yeah. So I think the best answer is maybe, because Blixabon created a configuration that we can set that will have different properties for whether or not combine soldiers can hit you, whether you can hit them, and such. I actually don't remember the specific ones. Sorry. But what that setting will actually be set to and whether or not it's configurable, we don't know yet. It might be tied to difficulty. I kind of like that idea, but it's too early to say.
That's cool.
Yep, so there you go.
I will-
That's all the questions.
Just 2 seconds, I must let my cat in.
Scratching your carpet, I gather. My cat did that. Like, if he wanted to get in, he'd just scratch the mother-loving hell out of the carpet outside the door until I opened it. But sometimes I'd like have my headphones
Right,
on, so
I
I
am
wouldn't
back.
hear
Sorry.
it. I was just saying, were they like scratching the hell out of your carpet to be let in?
It was out the front of the
Ah.
house, so he's banging on the front door.
Oh, kitty! I really want a cat to pet. I haven't pet a cat in a while.
You should get one.
Nah, I live in the. I can't.
So was that all the questions for tonight then?
That is all the questions.
Okay, and that will conclude our streaming.
Yes. Good night, everybody.
Yeah,
Thanks
I
for
think
joining us.
I was just thinking. I went quiet there because I was thinking, when are we going to stream next? I'm going to just say it won't be long. It will be like a couple of weeks. But
You could do a map stream.
I could do a mapping stream at some point. What I would like to do is finish that map for chapter 4, like polish it, and then we can actually show that off. When are you going to do the teaser thingy? Is that going to be when we've got more maps for chapter 4? Or is that gonna
No,
be now?
because it's only going to be a very, very short one. You're going to release a build after this meeting,
Yep.
are you?
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm going to try and do, well, maybe not tonight. It's getting a bit late,
Yeah, a bit
but
late,
maybe
yeah.
this weekend I'll plan it and shoot it and edit it together.
That would be really cool. That would be great. So we can get that out there,
Yeah.
and then we can do a stream when that map is sort of put together more.
Yeah,
by
there's going to be a little flavor teaser like the chapter 3 one.
Oh yeah, that was perfect. That was perfect. I think by that time, by the time we do our next stream, I'm hoping Entropy 0 version 3 will be out, because I don't think we've got, I just have to sit down and figure out those materials. I've got to figure that out. I'll figure it out. That's a nightmare job. But yeah, once that's done, we can just release version 3 and people can go and get the new achievements and stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah, don't forget to give me like a no light version of that chapter 4 map.
Chapter 4. Oh shit. Yeah. Right, I'll give that to you tomorrow.
Okay, cool.
Because I'll have to put that together properly.
I could always just
unless you want to go into
tool.
you could go into the VMF and you could just search for all of the lighting.
Oh yeah, sure, I could do it myself. I keep forgetting I have that.
Yeah.
You release the VMFs of everything.
All you need to do is toggle off lights in the Viz groups.
Yeah, we can do. Oh, that's dead easy. Yeah, just do that.
Yeah. I keep forgetting that you hand out the VMS with every build.
I do. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for coming to the stream, guys.
It was worth it.
It was cool. I got to see chapter 4 properly for the first time. Oh my god.
Absolutely worth the wait.
Worth the wait. Okay. See you guys when we see you.
Bye bye.